Yes, good morning children. This is lecture 3. Today we'll discuss about charged particle moving at different angles. In previous class we have discussed when charged particle moves in a perpendicular magnetic field. Perpendicular magnetic field, then it moves circularly. This was uniform magnetic field. Charged particle when charged particle enters in uniform magnetic field, then this charged particle moves circularly. When it moves circularly, then towards the center, a force acts called Lorentz force, and away from the center, you are knowing in circular motion, centripetal force acts towards the center, and in the case of non-inertial, a centrifugal force acts outward whose magnitude is equal to centripetal force. So here centripetal force is acting, hence Lorentz force is equal to centripetal force. Lorentz force is equal to Q VB sin 90, and centripetal force is equal to mv square by r, where r is the radius of circle. This is the circular path, so this is also called trajectory of particle. You have read in class 11 trajectory in projectile motion. Trajectory means the path through which charged particle moves. So in this case, trajectory is circular path. Now V will be cancelled and R will be equal to mv by qb. This is the radius of circular path. This is the radius of circular path, mv by qb. mv, that is momentum, mass into velocity, momentum. So we can write also p by qb. This is the momentum. On this formula, some questions are asked generally, like that problem. A proton deuteron and alpha particle are entering in a uniform magnetic field. Uniform magnetic field with constant velocity, with constant speed. with constant speed finds the ratio of their radii of trajectories. Here formula is above. Radius is equal to mv by qd. This is the proton. Its mass is m and charge is e. This is the deuteron. Deuteron is 2h1. So its mass will be equal to 2m and charge will be equal to e. Alpha particle is 4,2 helium particle. So its mass will be equal to 4m and charge will be equal to 2e. So we can find out radius. This is the radius of proton is to radius of deuteron is to radius of alpha particle. Radius of proton, this is the formula. Mass of proton m, velocity of proton v, because they are entering with constant speed. Now here charge of proton E and magnetic field, that is B, is to mass of deuteron. Mass of deuteron is 2m. Its velocity is v. Charge of deuteron, that is equal to E and magnetic field is v. Then mass of alpha particle, that is 4m. Velocity is v. Charge on alpha particle is 2e and magnetic field is v. mv will be cancelled, v will be cancelled, eb will be cancelled. Now we have got here is 1. This will be equal to is to 2 and 2 to the 4. This is 2. Problem 2. Just we have seen R equal to mv by qb. This is the radius of circular trajectory when charged particle enters in uniform magnetic field perpendicular. Then this is the radius. Now this can be changed mv p by qb. And this P can be converted in the form of energy. This P can be converted in the form of energy, like we are knowing P square by 2m is equal to kinetic energy. So from here we can write here P equal to under square root 2mk. So R will be equal to under square root 2mk. Now this is the radius, this is the momentum divided by qb. On the basis of this, from this formula, we can solve this problem when alpha particle and deuterium have entered in uniform magnetic field B, with same kinetic energy, same kinetic energy, find the ratio of their trajectories, Now here is same kinetic energy. So first of all, here is alpha particle and this is deuterium. So radius of alpha particle is to radius of deuterium. This is the formula. Radius under square root to mass of alpha particle, that is equal to 4m, kinetic energy same, divided by charge of alpha particle 2e I into b is to under square root to mass of deuterium 2h1, that is deuterium. So this will be equal to 2m, same kinetic energy, divided by charge on deuterium E into B. So it will be cancelled. Root K will be cancelled. Root M will be cancelled. Here will be 4 to the 8. Root 8 is to root 4. This can be written as 4 into 2 is to 2. Then this will be equal to 2 root 2 is to 1. 2 root 2 is to 2. So this will be the ratio of radii of these two particles. So I think radius of charged particle you have understood. Now we want to find time period of charged particle. When charged particle moves in a circular trajectory, once it moves, then time taken by the charged particle is called time period. So time period of charged particle time period of charged particle time period of charged particle we have the formula radius equal to NV by QB. When charged particle enters in perpendicular magnetic field, it moves circularly. Its radius is r. Now here is we have to find the time period. Then time period T, time taken in one rotation is equal to length of circumference. Once it moves, this is called length of circumference. Divided by speed equal to distance by time, time equal to distance by speed. So length of circumference, that is 2 pi r divided by speed. This is the time period. We can change radius because we are knowing r equal to mv by qb. mv by qb. So we can put here t equal to 2 pi, r equal to mv by qb. So v is cancelled. This will be equal to 2 pi m by qb. So time period equal to 2 pi m by qb. This is the time period. I think that it is clear. This is the time period. This is the time period of the particle, charged particle. When it enters in uniform magnetic field, then it moves once. That time is time period, and this time period is 2 pi m by qb. Most important point here, this time period does not depend on velocity. This time period does not depend on velocity. It depends on charge. It depends on mass. It depends on magnetic field. So it is clear. When you take proton, mass is m, charge is E. When you take deuterium, mass is 2m, charge is E. Certainly deuterium mass is large, so time period will be large because both are directly proportional. So you have to decide if on the basis of this formula some objective question will be asked, you have to give the answer. Then frequency of charged particle. Frequency of charged particle. Frequency of charged particle, just we have done. Frequency that is equal to f. You are knowing frequency means number of rotations per second. How many rotations the charged particle take in 1 second, that is called frequency. And frequency is equal to 1 by time period. Just we have done. Time period we have calculated. That was, we are doing rough. That was, time period is 2 pi r by v, and this will be equal to mv by qb. V is cancelled. So time period equal to 2 pi m by qb. We have done just now. So we put here 1 by t 2 pi m by qb. Hence frequency can be written as qb by 2 pi m. This is the frequency. Again, frequency does not depend on velocity. So it is clear that frequency and time period does not depend on velocity. Somehow it is asked that find angular frequency. So angular frequency is equal to angular frequency. Angular frequency equal to theta by t. Theta is once 2 pi, then it is called time period, 2 pi by t. Now put the value of t. This will be equal to 2 pi m by qb, and time period is 2 pi m by qb. qb will be cancelled. Frequency equal to theta by t. Theta equal to 2 pi by t. 2 pi by t. T equal to 2 pi by t. This is the 2 pi. T is 2 pi m by qb. Then qb is multiplied above. Then this will be equal to angular frequency is equal to qb by m. So be careful in question. Frequency is asked or angular frequency is asked. You have to see this is the angular frequency and this is the frequency. Difference is that this frequency is the angular form and this is the in cycles form. Cycles means how many rotations are given by the particle, are taken by the particle. So see the difference, and according to which you have to give the answer. So this is the first part. Now in next part we want to discuss. In next part we want to discuss charged particle moving in a uniform magnetic field at acute angle. In previous case, charged particle had moved at right angle, that is 90 degree. Now charged particle is moving at angle less than 90 degree. So we are supposing here this is the x-axis and this is the direction of magnetic field and charged particle. This is the direction of magnetic field and this is the charged particle. It is moving with velocity v, making some angle with magnetic field. This is the acute angle. Its velocity is v. This is the direction of magnetic field. So it is very clear that here velocity will have two components. One component will be v cos theta and other component will be v sin theta. V cos theta component is along the magnetic field and v sin theta component will be perpendicular on magnetic field. So clearly this is the magnetic field. This is the component v cos theta, velocity component, and other component is this is the vx and other component is v sin theta. there are two components of velocity. This component of velocity makes the charged particle along the x-axis, because this component is along the x-axis, so it will try to move the charged particle along the x-axis, but this component is perpendicular. So this component is perpendicular, making 90 degree. So this component makes the charged particle in circular motion, means its path will be circular due to this component, and due to this component path will be a straight line. When both will combined, means when there will be a combined effect of both components, then its path looks like that. It is looking like that. This is the path. This shape is called helix. This shape is called helix. Means this shape is called helical shape. This is the combined effect of both. This component makes it movement along the x-axis, and this makes it circular, but this circular shape moves along the x-axis. That's why both combined effect changes the shape, and that shape is called helix. So from this concept we can find radius of circular path. Radius is equal to, we have the formula mv by qb. This is the radius. So from here, m, mass of charged particle, and velocity, here is velocity is v sin theta. So this velocity will be equal to v sin theta divided by qb, that is the q, and this is the b. This is the radius of particle moving along the x-axis, because the axis of this helix will be along this direction. This is the axis. It is parallel to x-axis, or we can say that it is parallel to magnetic field. Similarly, we can find the time period also. Time period was t equal to 2 pi r by mv, 2 pi r by v, then 2 pi r mv by qb. V will be cancelled. 2 pi m by qb. Then time period will be equal to 2 pi m or we can write here 2 pi r by v directly. Then this will be equal to 2 pi r and v will be equal to v sin theta. This is the time period. Now here we can find the one terminology, that is pitch. Pitch, what is this? It is the linear distance between two helix. It is the linear distance, means pitch is the linear distance linear distance between two consecutive helix. Consecutive helix. So this distance is equal to speed into time. So speed equal to speed into time. Speed along the x-axis, speed is v cos theta, and time period. After one rotation, again it starts in second rotation, so time period will be equal to t. So pitch will be equal to v cos theta into t. I think it is clear. At acute angle, when charged particle moves, the velocity will have two components. One component will be v cos theta and other component will be equal to v sin theta. V cos theta component transverses, pushes the particle along the x-axis, tries to push because it is moving along the x-axis, but v cos sin theta component is perpendicular with magnetic field, so it always gives circular effect. But in the combination form, in circular and in a straight line, when both will be combined, then this set is called helix. The axis of the helix will be parallel to magnetic field. So every point you should know, because from every point question is generally asked. Okay, thank you.